Haven't heard this one in years, boy. I love that slamming dance music, those slamming beats get you out dancing on the floor, just get you rocking, period. Speaking of which, the song is called Rockin' Radio by Tom Browne, an ad on my fantasy playlist November 20th, 1983. Some of the ads on this fantasy playlist that week, November 20th, 1983, includes Robert Plant of Led Zeppelin, In the Mood, Reflex, The Politics of Dancing, I'm sure you remember that one, and Hero by Gladys Knight, and Tom Browne, Rockin' Radio. Tom Browne, a fantastic, trumpet player, soul trumpet player. Uh, from Queens, New York, his biggest hit, Funkin' for Jamaica in 1980. He got the idea for that song, for that record, when he was visiting his parents' house. It's sort of a memoir of sorts, a biography of him growing up, and it was in a neighborhood in Queens, New York, funkin' for Jamaica. A woman named Tony Smith, she sings on that record, boy, she puts that soul in that record. You got that trumpet blaring away in that song, funkin' for Jamaica. Not necessarily commercial enough for top 40 pop radio, but went to #1 on R&B back around the summer of 1980, summer fall of 1980, funkin' for Jamaica by Tom Browne. And now we got this record, uh, Rockin' Radio. It's from the album called Rockin' Radio. Now, Tom Browne, he started out, he was influenced. He might have been a protege. Well, he started out with a jazz trumpeter, a famed jazz trumpeter. His name was Sonny Fortune. Well, actually, he was a saxophone player. Sonny Fortune was a saxophone player, jazz saxophone player. Sonny Fortune, in the late 60s, Sonny Fortune, he played in Mongo Santa Maria's band. And that was a big thing because Mongo Santa Maria was a big name back in the day. He had a hit, Watermelon Man, back in 1963, Mongo Santa Maria. So we got Mongo Santa Maria, Sonny Fortune, and now we got we got Funkin' for Jamaica. We got Rockin' Radio by Tom Browne. Two guys who wrote this record, Rockin' Radio, the Johnson brothers, not to be confused with the Brothers Johnsons, but the Johnson brothers, including Larry Johnson and Michael Johnson, Larry Johnson. And they were known as the Johnson Crew. And they wrote this record. They helped write this record, the album track, Rockin' Radio. Larry Johnson later became Maurice Starr. Maurice Starr, the guy who discovered New Edition. Maurice Starr, who created, auditioned, and created the phenomenon that was New Kids on the Block. Well, his real name Larry Johnson, and he co-wrote this record, Rockin' Radio by Tom Browne. Boy, this is a great dance record. I should have put this song way up on my fancy playlist back in 1983, but I didn't hear it enough on the radio. I don't even know where I heard it at. I heard it on the local R&B station, WTUG. Speaking of which, on R&B, now the album itself didn't do that great on Billboard. Went to number 147 on Billboard's Top 200 album charts, but on R&B, it went to number 11, number 33 on the dance charts. Just glad I added it on my fancy playlist. Tom Browne, Rockin' Radio, right there on my fancy playlist, November 20th, 1983. Deemed that one a viable top 40 extra.